I mean, I think that the world building in Wheel of Time is the best in my personal opinion. I mean, just watching the show and just getting a visual glimpse of these different cultures and different worlds, different small towns. Now we're strolling through from the Two Rivers to Atuan's Mill to Kyrene. Now, Falm, where we're going to see these seasons go to. I mean, my God, we shot in Italy, we shot in Morocco, we shot at the tip of North Africa, and this year it's insane.
Hello, Daniel. How are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you doing?
We are doing well. First and foremost, it's always great to speak to a fellow Daniel. I know this is a nightmare for Shabazz, so
Yeah, it is. Two Daniels at once is more than I can
it's
handle.
too much.
It is a lot. It's intense, but I mean, we'll make it easy on you.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your time with us on the movie podcast today. We're going into the second season of The Wheel of Time, and we seem to be going a lot bigger this season. And I just got to ask first, like, what can we expect this season from the show? What are our audiences going to be expecting?
Well, I think season one of a show is always sort of a trial thing, having done a few different shows. I mean, there's mistakes that are made, there's lessons that are learned, there's wins, there's losses, there's positives, there's negatives. It's very cliche, but it is true because you're trying to get your traction as a unit, as a show. And there were a lot of expectations, a lot of nervous things because of the books and all that stuff and the fans and all that cocktails of all that different things. So we season two is much more what we envisioned the show looking like aesthetically, the pacing, the tone. It's a little bit darker. The characters are given more time to breathe. You're seeing some just an overall sort of collective exhale this season, while still maintaining that sense of urgency, the darkness, the battling, all that stuff. But I think it just feels a little more complete.
That's fantastic. And I think when you have a fan base that is just so, I think, eagerly waiting to see, what comes next for the show, you have a baked in fan base already. There's a lot of eyes that are always on you, but I love that you guys are so willing to adapt and also just be true to what the story is, right? That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's Rafe. I mean, at the core, we always want to keep the spirit of the books. I mean, we realize we've had to make changes for certain reasons. It's hard to squeeze 14, 15 books into television. And so it's proven to be a challenge, but he's a really talented man, and we're going to follow him into the dark. So, but we're confident this season is great, and it's a representation of what season 3 is going to look like. We're trending in the right direction.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. We can't wait to see more of Lan, especially. So I have to know, what part of Lan do you find the most intriguing to portray?
I learned a lot playing him. I think humans in general, and especially actors, they kind of want to, they're uncomfortable in silence at times. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I'll be the first one to kind of say something to break an awkward silence, and Lan doesn't care. He'll just stay back and say nothing for hours. And he feels no need to say anything unless it's something that he needs to say. And I really learned a lot about myself through that character. I used to want to do something. If I was just in the background, I'm like, oh, should I be loading saddlebags or should I be sharpening a sword? And I was like, you know what? No, he's just here. He's present. And let's let him be present. And that's helped me, personally as well.
Yeah. It's like a level of calmness. Like you're as cool as a cucumber in a way.
Absolutely. Inside and out. And he's not thinking 20 steps ahead. He's supremely present.
Yeah. And there's a power in that too, which is really cool.
100%.
Now we're constantly being fed with so many great fantasy series out there. How do you think The Wheel of Time distinguishes itself from all the other ones that we have?
I mean, I think that the world building in Wheel of Time is the best in my personal opinion. I mean, just watching the show and just getting a visual glimpse of these different cultures and different worlds, different small towns. Now we're strolling through from the Two Rivers to Atuan's Mill to Kyrene. Now, Falm, where we're going to see these seasons go to. I mean, my God, we shot in Italy, we shot in Morocco, we shot at the tip of North Africa, and this year it's insane. And so I know all these worlds exist in different shows, but I mean, we're really going there. And it's so cool to go through like waygates and just appear in a different I mean, that's such a cool thing for a show to be able to do. I mean, we're shooting in like, we're in Faldara, in the palace, and then you go through Wega and you're in the middle of the desert, and it's just like, what
Gorgeous.
is this show?
Yeah.
And I think that's the charm. And I love how, diversely it's been cast and how it's a direct representation, where these characters should be, Shinarians can look a certain way because they're from Shinar, It just makes sense to me that all these different cultures can coexist, whether it's the Shanshan or whether it's the Aiel, they're all in the same world. And it's just fun to experience it.
That's fantastic, and we want to ask. This is a big question. When our audience found out that we are going to be doing some interviews for this show, a big question was wanting to know what your favorite sword form was, or did you have even a favorite sword form name? Because there are no short of sword form names in this series.
I'm partial to, is it Cat Crosses the Courtyard?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I like that. We learned a lot of new sword forms that probably don't have names, but I was for the kata that I do in season 2, episode 1. What you'll see is the tail end of it. I mean, there's probably 20% of what we actually practiced made it to the final cut.
Wow.
And so, but our sword master Roman, who's this Czech sword master, who looks just like He-Man, and he's exactly what. He teaches me all my sword forms. We practice just relentlessly. And so I think I'm going to actually post a video of the full length kata at some point. But it's one of the coolest things about playing LAN. It's just, I've gotten quite good with the katana. I mean, it's a modified katana sword. It's not an actual katana, but and now I have the foundation built to where I can pretty much learn a fight sequence in, less than a week now. Whereas back in the day, it was a month it took me.
Wow.
That's insane.
That's amazing. Daniel, thank you so much for your time. We are so excited to see where the season goes, and we're so excited to have the Wheel of Time back in the world. So thank you so much again, and we hope to talk to you again.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for your time.